Black.
Sir.
Black.
Sir.
Black.
Sir, do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She is always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't.
The caucasity of these people to think that they can police people's identities like Trump did to Kamala Harris. I mean, you got to watch the episode. This episode could almost be called, a primer on Caucasity, which is Caucasian, Caucasoid audacity. It's kind of comical to me to hear Trump say things like, Kamala just recently became black. She used to only be Indian, and that's East Indian, and these black women should check into that.
Just to be clear, sir, do you believe that
I think
she is
somebody should look into that too when you ask continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
It's a direct question, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, as some Republicans
I really don't
have
know.
said?
I mean, I really don't know. Could be.
So white males sometimes are not able to see outside themselves, their own programming, their own biases, their own complexes, their own ways of their knowing what they are and who they are, which has been invented for them the same way it's been for us.
President, I would love if you can answer the question on your rhetoric and why you believe that black voters should trust you with another 4
I
years.
have been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln. That's my answer.
Better than President Johnson, who signed the Voting Rights Act?
That's a lot to unpack. And then you have Trump saying things like, well, it's interesting because there's a lot of people in this room are black. I mean, he's sitting in an auditorium full of National Association of Black Journalists. And he says most of the people in this room are black.
A lot of the journalists in this room I know and I have great respect for. A lot of the journalists in this room are black. I will tell you that coming...
And the crowd is laughing. It's comical. I don't know. You know what's scary? What if Trump is doing this stuff intentionally?
I will tell you that coming from the border are millions and millions of people that happen to be taking black jobs. You had the best...
What exactly is a black job, sir?
A black job is anybody that has a job. That's what it is. Anybody that has a job.
All right.
And they're taking the employment away from black people.
So Trump is saying we need to stop the invasion of illegals because they're stealing black jobs. What the hell is a black job, bro? Is he pulling that off deliberately? Or is he just kind of that dense where he doesn't know he's doing that? And he's expressing the inner workings, the inner psychology of the European male settler. I don't know. People like Donald Trump are tapping into those fears and those divisions and those insecurities and saying things like, we have to stop the invasion of illegals.
They're coming in, they're invading. It's an invasion of millions of people, probably 15, 16, 17 million people. I have a feeling it's much more than that. These people are coming into our country and they're taking black jobs and Hispanic jobs, and frankly, they're taking union jobs. Unions are being very badly affected by all of the millions of people that are pouring into our country. And one thing, as we discussed, many of these people are coming in from mental institutions, from prisons, from jails. They're gang members in other countries.
To have the caucasity of a Donald Trump to tell me that my Mayan, Mexica, or my Meso, Indio people from Central America or South America who we are destabilizing don't have a right to cross this border, this colonial border between the United States and Mexico. We have that right. The Dakota people, the Blackfoot, Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, we have the right to cross this Canadian border. Let's put that in perspective. We should have put up a wall when European settlers got here. You know, how does that make you feel? You know what I mean? Like, put this in perspective. There's enough land, opportunity, prosperity, clean water. There's enough opportunity for all of us. But there's not enough opportunity when the corporations are in control of our lives. I'm not here to talk about what I am politically. I'm anti-corporate fascism. And so in another episode, we'll unpack Project 2025, because a lot of people are very scared of that. And you should be, but ain't nothing new to us. We've been ready to fight our whole lives against corporate fascism. You know, Russell Means said to all of America, welcome to the reservation. We're not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with us. Like, welcome to the fight. It's coming to you. And we're your friends. We want to fight the bad guys too. I hope that you are aware of settler colonial institutions and that you are actively trying to help the majority of this country deconstruct those institutions, because those institutions are violent.
I would love to ask you about January 6th. You've called yourself the candidate of law and order. Yeah. When Time Magazine asked you if you would consider pardoning all the rioters, you said, yes, absolutely. Sure. You called them patriots. 140 police officers were assaulted that day. Their injuries included broken bones, at least one officer lost an eye, one had 2 cracked ribs, 2 smashed spinal discs, another had a stroke. Were the people who assaulted those 140 officers, including those I just mentioned, patriots who deserve pardons?
Well,
my question is on those rioters who assaulted officers.
You have to
would you pardon those people?
What's going to happen? Oh, absolutely, I would.
You would pardon those?
If they're innocent, I would pardon them.
They've been convicted.
And by the way, the Supreme Court just
he mentioned pardoning the January 6th insurrectionists. You know, as a Native person, we've spent a lot of our lives, even at Standing Rock, no DAPO, right? They targeted us as religiously driven indigenous jihadis. We were called terrorists. When the KKK, the white supremacists, and the willingness of the corporate state to weaponize those racist people in this country, and there are a lot of them, but there's way more non-racist people than there are racist people. There's way more people who want to be free from corporate rule. I know there are, and those are my people. I am your people. So we need to stick together. That's all I want to say is don't get all worked up like it's going to be Armageddon or like it's going to be Tupacalypse out here. You know what I mean? Let's find our people. Let's stand together. Lila wopile tanka e chichabla doksha akewa chiankapalo.